Chapter 4 Clocks. We draw and draw in our journals. Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done. Then he walked around the room and he looked at everyone's pictures. He gave out shiny gold stars. First, he gave stars to Camille and Chanel. "What great-looking dogs you draw, girls," he said. "Look at those fluffy ears." Lucille raised her hand. "Look at mine, teacher," she said. "I draw a cat with pointy ears. See? My rich Nana has all expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a foot thick almost." Mr. Scary looked strange at her. "Really, Lucille? A whole foot of fur?" he said. My. He gave her a gold star and moved on. He went to a boy named Roger. Roger was in my same class last year. "Excellent job, Roger," Mr. Scary said. "You draw a man wearing a coat." The words "man" and "coat" were both on the board, weren't they? I did a little frown, 'cause none of these words were actually sounding familiar. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. "Cool bat and ball, Sheldon," he said. "And Shirley, you draw a bat and ball too, didn't you?" I put my head on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to May. "Oh, May," he said, "what a special clock you draw. The big hand has 5 fingers. That's very unusual." "Yes," said May. "I created it myself. Plus, clock was the hardest word up there, wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I am the only one who even knew the word clock, I bet." Just then, my stomach felt sickish inside. I quick closed my journal and stuffed it in my desk. Mr. Scary saw me. "Junie B," he said, "don't you want to show me your drawing? Don't you want a gold star for today?" I shook my head real fast. "Nope, no thank you." "No, I don't," I said. "Not today. I really don't care for a gold star today. But thank you for asking." Mr. Scary kept on standing there. "The end," I said. He did not budge. "Please move along," I said. Finally, Mr. Scary bent down next to me. He lowered his voice so no one could hear. "I'm sorry, Junie B, but I'd really like to see what you draw," he said. "I need to make sure that you understood the assignment." Then, before I knew it, he took my journal out of my desk, and he gave it to me it to me to hold. After that, he walked me into the hall, and he let he show him my drawing in private. And guess what? He liked it, I think. Oh wow, look at that, Junie B, he said. You draw a wonderful picture of uh he kept on looking. A screaming chicken, I said finally. Mr. did a strange face. Yes, right, he said. It's a screaming chicken, I said again. I pointed at the chicken's mouth. See how it's screaming cluck, cluck, cluck. I looked capital letters for the clucks. Capitals are for screaming, correct? Well, yes, I suppose so, said Mr. Scary. But the thing is, Junie B, the word clock wasn't on the board today. I know it, I said. The word on the board was clock. Only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess. 'Cause I accidentally thought it was clock. I tapped on my chin. What I actually wanted to draw was the butt and bull, I said. I really liked the sound of that one, but I didn't know how to get started. Exactly, so I went ahead with the clock idea. Mr. Scary looked confused at me. The butt and bull, he said. I smiled kind of embarrassed. Yeah, well, I read those words wrong too, I guess, I said. They turned out to be bat and bull. Mr. Scary frowned. He said. What about the other words on the board, Junie B? Do you remember how you read some of the other ones? How about dog and cat, or coat and goat? I thought back. Then I made my voice very real quiet. Dog and coat and yacht, I said. Mr. Scary nodded his head. Then he patted my hand very nice, and he gave me back my journal, and he walked back into room 1.